The following is a presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Russell this morning. This is something that was not too easy or not too hard to predict. You'll notice that the low that we made was an exact 61% retracement there at 2205, and it just took off like a rocket after that. That was a very interesting one to pay attention to. But the one that was really quite interesting, and not too many caught this, but this was if you like the old but Benoit Mandelbrot, AB equals CD lightning bolt. Take a look at this lightning bolt. Hold on one second here. Yep, Jimmy D, I am in the den. Okay, there's a perfect ABCD in the Dow Jones, and as you can see here, we've gone up quite a bit. You remember Friday, folks, we talked about the importance of that 33,000 level, the fact that it was a 382 retracement, and it was setting at, I believe, the second standard deviation, and we've been down 10 days in a row, basically. So that's why this was such an interesting one to pay attention to. Now, how much it's going to go from here, I don't know. We completed some major patterns up in here this morning on some of these things. I'll give you one that, has been following the market pretty good. Yes. Thank you, Jimmy, for the call. That's not a call. It's just something we were looking at. I never know whether these things are going to work or not. Here's where we were last night, folks, in the S&P. I want to bring this up to your attention because we sent these out as it was happening. If you notice here on the very bottom there, we have a 3 drive to a bottom pattern. That was pretty close to that 4120 that we were looking for. We made the ABCD on the downside. And the key here was that once we went above the 4145 level, which was the 382 retracement of the overnight range, I mean, this thing just really took off. And then the comment that I made on the next one that I sent out was that if we get above 4175, the next stop is going to be 4208. And so far, that's been the 61% retracement up there at around 4208. Now, these are just numbers, folks. That's all they are. They're just numbers. Nothing more, nothing less. Okay, now, there's one other one that makes really good sense, and there's a very important message here, and that is I posted this yesterday. Hold on one second here. I posted this as a one of our trades of the day last night, or I did it early Sunday, actually, long before it happened, long before they even opened. And I said that, we have this major pattern up here, double ABCD pattern up here in the bonds at 62.22. And what happened was, as you can see here on the right-hand side, it's trading at 62.24. Well, when I saw 62.24, what I did was I immediately sent a notice out. And if you'll notice here, what I try to do, folks, for 24/7 is to keep your risk just as small as possible. Now, here's a notation that I said. T-bonds have a big ABC pattern. The wide range bars suggest for waiting for short sale. The problem was the order was selling at 62.22 and the market was already at 62.24. Now, it only got any higher than 63.01, so, it only went against you about 9 pips, and it's made $3,000. So that's one of the things that, all I tried to do when I send this out, when I say waiting for a short sale, the thing that I wanted to remind everybody of is the fact that you make sure you put your stops in on this. That was the main thing, because, you can see that the wide-ranging bar is there, and the order had already been filled. If the order had not already been filled, then you shouldn't have taken the trade. But the order was already filled, so there's nothing you can do. It turned out to work okay. They don't always do that. But when they do, that's a good thing. So that's the main thing. Now, Z, I don't know if you know this or not, but the bonds have had a $6,000 move today, Bubba. They went $3,000 up and $3,000 down. And, that's a really big one to keep in mind, that there's a lot of things going on. Now, Another one that we've been focusing on was the gold market. We mentioned in the newsletter the fact that level of 1767 should hold, but if it didn't, that we were going to go down, probably down to the 1629 level. Well, the gold did hold. If you just looked at this last night, it wasn't that difficult to see, but this was a 15-minute chart. I'm going to look at hogs next, Ruby, because I love them hogs. If you'll see here, we've got this big ABCD pattern here, and we said looking for support at 1173 to 1170. The low on that move, folks, was 1173.10, and we went all the way back up to 1786. That's a $13 move with about a $3 risk. Okay, so that's all these numbers are. You can see the ABCD. There's not too much there. Okay, hold on one second here, and we'll get the little piggies up here. Here we go. These are the August ones that we talked about 10 days ago. Let me get this up here. One of the things I probably am guilty of, folks, and that is putting my stops a little too close. And the main reason is that, I don't want to get the O'Briens in any hot water. But that's probably if I have lots of problems with things that are wrong, but that might be one that is really important. But we hit 103 today here in the live hogs. We're down 10 days now, so we're due for a rally to come in at this point. Whether it will happen or not, remains to be seen. So let's remind ourselves that that's what we're looking at here as we're looking at some of these things here this morning. I hope that answers your question about the hogs. That basically should be completed now, and you would be out of that if you're in that trade. You've worked every day since we've been in it. Now, one of the charts that Rich Anderson was able to send us, that because we were talking about the ABCD pattern so much these last couple of days, and we'll bring this up. This is the total number of cars sold globally. This is globally, folks, over the last few years. Look at that giant move there. The number of cars have been sold globally. That's just not the United States. That's everywhere. My neighbor has a car that he wants to sell, and it's a Chrysler 300, and it's 14 years old. It's only got like 60,000 miles on it. I almost bought it just as a collector's item, but there's a beautiful shape, and he wanted to put it on. He put it on Craigslist for $4,000, and I said to Steve, that car is worth a lot more than that. I said that engine is worth more than that. So I went in and I Googled around a little bit, and I found out that car with the mileage and everything was worth $8,000. Well, he sold it for $9,000, so he was a happy camper. He did buy me breakfast, which is a good thing. That's the main thing. Now, here's another one that we would watch last night in the gold market. I wanted to bring this to your attention because this was all part of the same situation. This is where we were in gold. You remember the low we got down here? That was the Friday. We hit 1762. That was the low. Then we rallied up overnight to 1777. 1775 and a half was the 382 retracement. From there is where we dropped down to that 1773 level, and then back up to the 1786 level. So gold is still in a downtrend, but it's trying its best to turn around. Silver looks actually a little bit different. It's actually held up relatively well amongst these things, and I think that's something that it's worth mentioning here, because we did not get below the 61% retracement here in the silver, folks. I hope that came up. Did it come up? Yes, it did. We're going to take a little break here, I believe. 877. Is the break start? Yeah, break starts now. Sorry. 877-927-6648. We'll be right back, folks.
Markets can rise and fall like the tides. Subscribe to Basil Chapman's newsletter, The Opening Call, and you too can ride the wave. Basil Chapman is an authority in technical analysis. His Chapman Wave trading system has been helping traders identify trends and capitalize on momentum in the markets since 1984. TFNN invites you to test Basil's proprietary Chapman Wave trading methodology with a monthly subscription to the Opening Call newsletter for only $149. Your subscription to the Opening Call comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee, as well as daily market updates on key indexes, stocks, and commodities. Ride the wave Sign up for the opening call risk-free today.
What's separating you from the most successful men and women on Wall Street? That's right, information. Having all the information gives us the perspective we need to place the right trades at the right time. The TAS Profile Scanner is the premier market profile-based scanner. Powered by its acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner instantly filters over 2,500-plus global financial markets, such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. This powerful suite of tools leverages instant trade filtering and strategy formulation to show you emerging trades before they happen. For a limited time, you can save $100 off your first month by using the promo code UPGRADE, and you still get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Level the playing field with the TAS Profile Scanner, which you can find under the Services tab at TFNN.com. Sign up today.
Hey there, I'm Andy Arbertine with Tiger Precious Metals and Stones. Whether you're looking to buy and sell precious metals or trying to find the perfect diamond ring, I'm here to help. I have over 15 years of experience with diamonds and precious metals. You can call me directly at 727-329-8245, and I will personally answer any questions you have and help you find exactly what you're looking for. I will be your personal concierge in the metal and stone business. Give me a call today, 727-329-8245.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Get somebody else to do this. Son of a bitch. Well, can anybody hear me? Broadsword to Danny Boy, broadsword to Danny Boy. Come in, Danny Boy. Okay. I have some good news, folks. We are going to have a special guest on June the 29th. My friend from many years, over 50-some years, Larry Williams, and I have been chatting over the years. And in the last few weeks, he's up in Red Lodge, Montana, and he's fishing. And we were chatting a little bit here, a little bit there. And I've been asking him to come on the radio show once in a while. So he actually popped up and he said, hey, when would you like for me to be on? And I said, oh, this is a good thing. And I said, how about if we could have you on every 2 weeks? And he said, well, if they don't throw vegetables on me. He said, we'll be able to, Larry Williams is a really smart dude, folks. Let me give you some of the stories. When back in the days, or the mid 60s, he had, I think it was called Commodity Timing out of Carmel, California. He and Michelle Noseworthy were running that, and that's when I first met him. And in the early 70s, before there were any computers, he had some computers built for himself. And what he did with that was he was able to look at those and tell them that they were looking at things that were very important as far as timing and also the number of chances of the market being up 3 days in a row, 4 days in a row, 5 days in a row, what those odds were and probabilities. It was really amazing. And anytime he had something for sale, I'm working at Drexel, and Drexel would pay for anything that I wanted, and I bought everything that he had. But I'll tell you, the most important thing that he did for me, and this is I'll never forget this. It was quite special. I had just finished the book, Astro Cycles: A Trader's Viewpoint. I had a bound copy of it. It just came back from Cal Poly's publication department, and it was all ready to go. I didn't know what to do with it to sell it. So I think the best thing I could do was to go down to San Diego, where he lived. I called him up and I said, hey, I got a business proposition for you. Can you give me half an hour? And he says, come on down, we'll have lunch. So I drove down from Pismo Beach. It was about a 4-hour drive. And when I got there, of course, I pulled into the office area where he was, and I saw his Rolls Royce was there. He had a brown Rolls Royce, really pretty. And I went up, and I saw the window was down, and the key was still in the ignition. So I said, "Oh my God, he's forgot the key." So I pulled the key out of the ignition. I took it up to the secretary, and I said, "Larry left the key in the car." He said he leaves the key in the car all the time. And I said, "Why?" And he said, "Well, you'll have to ask him." And so I went in. I said, "Dude," I said, "how come you leave the key in a Rolls Royce?" He said, "Aren't you afraid of getting it stolen?" He said, "Larry, Rolls Royces never get stolen." He said, "Cars are stolen for parts, and nobody has Rolls Royces to buy the parts with, and the people that do can afford it." He said, "So I leave the keys in the car." And he said, I've had it for 6 years. He said, "I've never had any trouble." I said, "All right, amen, amen." So anyway, I showed him the book, and I said, I really don't know how to sell it, but I'd like for you to go into partners with me. We could, put your name on it first, with Larry Pesavento, but I think we could really do well with it. And he said, "Look," he said, "I'll tell you what." He said, "I have to play handball here pretty soon, but let me get back to you right after this." And he said, let's chat. He said, "Why don't you take the car out for a ride?" He said, "No, thanks." I said, I'll drive my own car. So he went to play handball, and I went to get a sandwich or something. I got back about 1:30, and he was there, and he said, "Look," he said, "I really like this book." He said, "But I'd be doing a disservice to you," he said, "if I went into partners with you." He said, "I'd be stealing from you." He said, "It's that good." He said, "This is going to make a lot of money." I said, "Larry," I said, "I don't know what to do next." And he reached around in the cabinet behind him, and he pulled out this 6 or 7 pages of lists, and these were addresses. We didn't have the internet back in then. He said, "These are all addresses that I have." And he said, "I know the addresses are pretty current, so it's a live list." He said, "Why don't you send it out?" And so he told me how to do a flyer. We worked on that for about an hour, and I didn't have the pricing or anything, but he said what to look for. And so what I did was I went home and I started to get ready to sell the book. And so I was selling the book for like $95. So I had the flyer all made, 1 year, or just to buy the book for $95. That's all I had. And this next part was really fun. I sent it out. We took it over to the handicap section there at where they take care of the handicapped people that work, and they address everything by hand. So when you hand address something, that immediately makes it a lot better. So they sent it out. We sent it out on a Thursday, and then the Saturday morning at 5:30 in the morning, I'm sitting there in Avila Beach, and the phone rings at 5:30, and I'm sitting out on the patio there. And it was Irving Feldman out of New York City. And Irving said, "I want to buy the book." And I said, "Well, by golly, we can do that." And I said, "Send me a check." And he said, "Son," he said, "nobody going to send you a check. You have to use credit cards." I said, "I don't have any credit cards." He said, "Well, you better get them or you're not going to sell many books." I said, "Let me get back to you." So I hung up. It's about 5:45. I called Michael Weintraub because he has 4 little kids, so I knew he was up. And I said, "Michael," I said, I need charge cards. And he said, "How about your dad?" Because his dad had retired. And he said, "Yeah." He said, "Let me call him up." So his dad lived in Santa Monica. He was a furrier and jeweler in Santa Barbara for 50 years. He owns one of the big buildings there in Santa Barbara, and we were very close. And I said, "Milton," I said, I need to use these credit cards until I can get my own." He said, "Sure." He said, "I have everything." He said, "I have American Express, Visa, MasterCard." He said, "Those are the ones that you need." And he said, "Here's the codes." And he said, "I know you're not going to sell very many, but if you sell more such, we'll keep you for taxes." Well, I called Irving back and I told him, I said, "Okay, I'm ready to go." And he said, "Well, how much is a newsletter?" And I said, "I don't have a newsletter." And he said, "How much is the hotline?" And I said, "I don't have a hotline either." He said, "Look," he said, "you got to sell it as a package." He said, "You just don't want to sell one book. Sell it as a package." And I said, "Well, I guess so." And so he figured it out, and it came out to $377, the Fibonacci number, of course, for 1 year of the newsletter and 1 year of the hotline and 1 year and the book itself. So now I am in business. And folks, all they had to reach me was by phone, so they started calling in. Folks, I didn't leave the house. I didn't leave the house until late Sunday afternoon. And by then, I had sold $30,000 worth of materials. And that was really, that to me, I just couldn't. And it went much better than that later on. And then, of course, when Commander Williams endorsed it for the AFA, it went pretty good. So it turned into Foundations for the Study of Cycles, had me speak at one of their things, and it just started. Yeah, it was a good weekend, and especially coming out of divorce, Marshall, it was pretty good. But Irving was a very good guy. But I have to tell you, when we get back, I'll tell you one of the funny stories about the hotline, because I think I mentioned it here before, but something that I'll always remember when we get back from the break. So 877-927-6648. We'll be right back, folks.
Are you having fun trading the markets but having trouble finding like-minded individuals to discuss your trading and investment ideas with? Become an apex predator in the trading markets and join the Tiger's Den Trading Room only at TFNN.com. The Tiger's Den is an exclusive trading room where successful traders from around the world come to exchange trades and ideas. Join the den and surround yourself with the sharpest minds in the trading world. Subscribers to the Tiger's Den are also the first to have their questions answered live on air and can privately chat with our TFNN hosts live during their shows. Interact with other tigers and tigresses as they share trading ideas, news analysis, and discuss the market action all trading day. Subscribe to the Tiger's Den risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee and become part of the TFNN trading community. TFNN, educating investors.
You could be making money off the stock market. And if you're already making money off the stock market, you could be making a lot more. Check out TFNN and Tiger TV and get expert investing advice to give you the power to control your financial future. Go to TFNN.com and find the newsletter for you. Whether you're into trading gold, metals, futures, currencies, or options, you'll get advice and analysis to help you seriously get ahead. TFNN also features trading services with a 30-day money-back guarantee for new subscribers, as well as TFNN's Tiger Den Trading Room, trading software, and educational webinars for all trading levels. And make sure you check out Tiger TV for free on TFNN.com or TFNN's YouTube channel for live financial content from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern on market days. Stop watching on the sidelines while other people get rich and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Oh, man, what's going on now? Just tell me if he comes on, okay? Hello, Marshall. Okay, boys and girls, we're supposed to have Norm Winsky as our guest today with this summer solstice that we're having, and I don't know if Norm is called in or not. Norm, can you hear me at all?
I can hear you, Larry.
I don't think so.
Can you hear me?
I can't hear Norm, and
What?
I don't know why, but that's just the way it goes. Shut the front door and raise the rent. Let's just look here and see what we got here. Nothing like yes. Oh dear, this technical stuff. I'll tell you, that's the one that drives me most nuts. Oh, you hear Norm? Norm, you got the. Tell him to go ahead.
Hello. Hello, I'm on. Hello. Hello, can anybody hear me? Oats on one of these lines here, and nobody trades oats except for 2 horses in Wyoming. So I took the oats off of there. I actually meant to take them off originally. So there we go. So I'll be reviewing these points. We had Mercury the night. I started with the night of the 9th. AC is after the close of the 9th. We had 2 points there that night. We had Mercury aphelion. That's when Mercury gets to its 88-day cycle around the sun. It's at its farthest point. The planets go around the sun in elliptical fashion. That's egg-shaped. There's a point where they're the farthest point and the point where they're the closest. Aphelion is the farthest. So because it's Mercury, that's your grains, and because it has to do with the relative to the sun, that has to do with your golden things like corn and gold, and sunny drinks like OJ. So there we go. And then we had a solar eclipse, which reinforces the solar theme. And so then that was a eclipse because that's a special new moon. And so any new moon, full moon, we round up the usual suspects of financials, grains, and precious metals. Then we had a geocentric, that's from the point of view of the Earth. Mars enter Leo. The sun rules Leo. So that's a 3-way theme there for anything to do with Leo or the sun. And that's your corn, gold, and OJ, all in a 2-day space. Then we had the Saturn line up with the U.S. natal chart. That's we take a snapshot of where the planets were on the 4th of July of 1776, and then we always look for things changing a trend for the U.S. stocks, T-bonds, and U.S. dollar. And by the way, all these points, the stock market will potentially respond all these points, so I don't bother putting the word stocks in every line, although I emphasize that for the U.S. Here's Venus at perihelion. That's the opposite of aphelion. Venus was at its closest point as it goes around the sun on the night of the 11th. And then we had the night of the 14th. We had a big one, 47-year cycle, Saturn, forming a 90-degree angle to Uranus. Saturn was in Aquarius. Uranus was in Taurus. And so we'll be looking at cattle, coffee, copper, and cotton. So let's look at the charts now, how that went. Here's your August cattle. And our first date was with the Venus perihelion. That was too soon for a top, and that did not work, so that's a red arrow. But the next bar over, the night of the 14th, that was 1 day ahead of the top, so that's my rules. That counts as a winner if I'm right within 1 day. And then we're going to move on to cotton. Cotton, we had same 2 dates. Just past the top there on the night of the 11th, opening of the 14th. That was a good trade. And then it was very confusing. The next day, after the big down bar there, you came back up, and now we're in the middle of the bar. Ironically, if you bought that opening, you could have made money on the upside, and if you sold that opening and waited a day or two, you would have made money. So it's too confusing. So that's a yellow bar. If it's confusing or sideways, I'd take a pass. So there we go. So here's the next one. Here's coffee. It was going down, down, down into our Saturn, Uranus. Saturn is coffee, and so that was a miss. It just kept going lower. Sugar was also a miss on our Venus point there, Venus perihelion. And here's copper, though, did okay. You had a little pop-up there into our window for copper, and then the next day counted to you have to be within 1 day of the high, and so that was a double winner there. Silver was going sideways, so we took a pass. Here's the gold, had a little pop-up into our Mars in Leo window. It was going sideways at the solar eclipse, so we did nothing there, but once it popped up into the Mars into Leo, that was a top, and that, as you know, it dropped about $140 from that point. Here's your OJ. The solar eclipse was very good. We're just a tiny bit off the top there on the OJ with two winners there. But the Mars and Leo, in this case, kind of a mirror image what the gold did. That was a miss. So here's the corn, though. All 3 points there worked well for the corn. The corn topped right there on the night on the 10th. And so that was very good. The corn dropped about 80 cents. That's $4,000. And here's beans were going sideways, so that was confusing. So we did nothing there. And here's your wheat, Raleigh. Now, by the way, on these grains, I often hear people talking about crop reports and all that stuff, and what's the soil temperature in Indiana and the crop yield in Iowa and all that. You don't need to know any of that stuff. As a matter of fact, I'm going to tell you that stuff not only distracts, it detracts from your making money. So don't bother with that. As they say in Jersey, forget about it. And all the government reports and the Fed numbers, you don't need any of that. All you have to do is know the right time. Gann says that, Mr. Gann, I'm assuming Gann, that the time is more important than price. And if you have the right time, you'll have the right price. If you want to add in the Gartley patterns that Larry does, and that occurs at the right time, all the better. You know, right? There you go. You got your ABCs and your ABCDs or whatever into the magic time. Then you're going to really raise your batting average. That's what I think. So anyway, I had a little,
okay.
Oh, it's music time. Okay.
We got to pay a few bills, Norm. We'll be right back with Norm Winsky, folks. Astro Trends.
Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
The technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Okay, I believe we have Norm Winsky in the house. Are you there, my friend?
Yes, sir, Larry. And now I can hear you, Larry, and hopefully you can hear me, right?
I solved the problem, Norm. Are you sitting down?
Okay.
My headphone on my microphone had somehow gotten turned off, and that's what it was. It wasn't anybody's fault but mine. And anyway, that's what happened. So, all right, my friend, you have the mic. It's good information. I like the part about the crop reports and all that other stuff. I have to agree with you. So please go ahead, my friend.
Righto. So here we have the wheat, and it popped up into the solar eclipse and the Mercury. Oh yeah, we have both Mercury aphelion and the solar eclipse the night of the 9th, and you would have been looking to do something on the opening of the 10th, and there the wheat popped up a little bit there and made a nice stop, and then it dropped. And then we had the Venus point here that didn't work so well, I think. And here's your S&P going sideways in the solar eclipse, so we do nothing, and the Mercury aphelion. And then we had a point here for, I think it was a Venus maybe, and let's see, what was that? I'm looking here on my table here. Yeah, Mars. That was Mars in the Leo, and that didn't work out. But then we had 2 points here for the over the weekend of the 11th, and that was with close to the top. And then you went a little bit higher, and that was the top when Saturn 90 degrees to Uranus, okay? And here's your T-bonds. They worked out fairly well. You're a day early here on your bonds to that top, and then a day late here to that top. So that's two potential winners. Here's the dollar index. Had a little one-day pop-up there, so you could have made a tiny bit of money, and then then it was kind of going nowhere here. So that was like a Nowheresville miss, Here's the British pound, had a pullback, so you could have popped up for a little bit of money for about a day. Here's the euro going sideways, so we do nothing. Here's the yen, had a little pullback there into the solar eclipse, and then a little pop-up there for one-day winner. And so we got, if you count up the green arrows and red arrows, you got 20 winners, 7 misses out of 27 for 74.07%. I know it's not 96%.
Whoa. You were 21 out of 22 last time, and now you're 24 out of 31. I mean, what's the problem?
I know I slipped, Larry. I'm sorry.
You're normal, Norm. Go ahead, my friend. Sorry for interrupting.
Okay. So here's what's coming up. Oh, yeah, I want to talk about right now what just happened over the weekend here. Really interesting. Last night at about 10:30, Jupiter turned retrograde, and at about 11, I looked it up, make sure I had the right time. My computer had 11:33. On the internet, it said 11:32, and we had the solstice Larry, do you know what time the S&P futures made their low last night?
I know it was around 2 in the morning New York time, as near as I can tell. Somewhere around that ballpark.
I think it was. Go check again. I double, triple checked it. I think it was within 4 minutes of the solstice.
Uh-huh. What time was that?
That would be about 11:28.
Okay, 11:28, and you had 3 hours. That would be 2:28 my time. So that would have been...
No, you're going backwards. You're behind me. You're 3 hours behind me.
Don't you see, in Tucson, we spin on a different cycle than the rest of the world.
Okay.
Well, I thought you knew that. Sorry for interrupting, Norm. Go ahead.
All right. Anyway, so that's kind of an interesting coincidence, you might say, that's made a turn there within 4 minutes of the solstice, There you go. So there you go. So anyway, Jupiter in Pisces. Pisces is the big liquid, the fish swim in the big liquid, and the big liquid commodity, of course, is oil. So we have a potential for oil has been going up, and so we have potential for a possible top here, though I think if it had to, it's probably going to be a short-term high because we got an even bigger window coming later in the week. And also, the stocks, remember, the stocks potentially respond to all these points. And we made a low, and obviously made a low in the stock market last night. This was over the weekend, 18 AC. That was Friday after the close. So over the weekend, that's what we're up about 50-plus handles now. So there we go. So the 22nd, that was the next thing coming up. It's the night of the 22nd. Mercury will turn direct. There's another. You see retrograde direct. Those are your top points. Ooh. So
that's a lot of stuff.
This is, Larry, this is going to be what I call a serial cluster this week. One big thing after another. What was your question or comment?
Well, those are the things that got me interested in astrology when I was working with Dr. Miller. She would show me pretty much what you're telling the people here. We didn't know whether it was going to be a high or a low, but when you went and looked at it, say, "Ooh, wow, it should have been high, should have been low." Yeah.
My experience is about 75% of the time it will. I call it a change in trend to have a broader definition, but about 75% of the time it will change your direction within 1 day.
Yeah. Is Mercury going retrograde now, or is it going direct now?
Mercury is now retrograde. It's been doing that. When it goes retrograde, it lasts about 3 weeks.
Okay. So
it's going to turn direct Tuesday night. That's the 20 tomorrow night. Okay. And the Mercury, of course, is your grains: corn, soybeans, wheat. And don't know if there's any crop reports, and probably don't care. Right?
I'll tell Rich Anderson you said that.
What's that again?
Go ahead. I said I'll tell Rich Anderson you said that. Go ahead, Norm. Please continue.
Well, yeah. All right. So we and then the afternoon of the 24th, that'll be Thursday. We'll have a full moon in the sign of Capricorn. It's always the opposite of where the sun is. The sun is now the solstice is in Cancer. The opposite of Cancer is Capricorn, and we're going to round up the usual suspects of financials, grains, precious metals, and then because it's in Capricorn, we're running a special this week on the 24th there for coffee. Okay, and then right on top of that, this deal, Larry. If you get a moon thing happening right on top of a big planetary event, that's like supercharged. Right? That's super duper, right? So that night, Neptune in Pisces, which is a double whammy because it's in its own sign. Neptune is the ruling planet of Pisces. It's going to turn retrograde, and there's a potential really big change in trend window for oil. Okay.
Also, what day is that? Is it 22nd, Norm?
That's the night of the 24th.
24th. Okay, that's out there in Thursday.
I don't know if you can see my notes or not. They're hopefully on
the
screen.
I cannot, but I can hear what you're saying. So go ahead.
All right. And anything to do with Pisces also, this is kind of a little side thing, has to do with inflation-related markets too, but specifically oil, right?
Yeah.
So there you go. So then the night of the 25th, we have a Helio Jupiter in Aquarius is going to line up with Uranus and Taurus. So you'll be watching cattle, copper, and cotton. And then also over that, that's the weekend. You'll have heliocentric, that's from the point of view of the sun, Mars enter Virgo, and that's the sign for soybeans. Okay?
Yeah.
And here's your, the only chart that I didn't show so far that I've mentioned is the oil. So there's your August oil. This is as of, over the weekend, so there you go.
Okay. Now that music on Norm tells us we got to pay a few bills. We'll be right back with Norm Winsky of Naples, Florida Astro Trends.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Markets can rise and fall like the tides. Subscribe to Basil Chapman's newsletter, The Opening Call, and you too can ride the wave. Basil Chapman is an authority in technical analysis. His Chapman Wave trading system has been helping traders identify trends and capitalize on momentum in the markets since 1984. TFNN invites you to test Basil's proprietary Chapman Wave trading methodology with a monthly subscription to the Opening Call newsletter for only $149. Your subscription to the Opening Call comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee, as well as daily market updates on key indexes, stocks, and commodities. Ride the wave! Sign up for the Opening Call risk-free today.
Introducing Primal Edge.
Today, it's even more important to take a supplement that complements your health. Primal Edge is specifically formulated to boost your immune system and help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Our early ancestors found all their nutritional requirements in the wild environment. But today, our food sources don't contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients that we need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based, vitamins, minerals, fatty and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated humic and fulvic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They've been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, without them, life cannot exist.
That's right, Ellen. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge. Just $89 exclusively at TFNN.com.
Hi, folks. This is Steve Rhodes. Stay tuned for another great hour of the Trader's Edge, heard here at TFNN.com.
Okay, we're back with Norm Winsky. We have a question from the United Kingdom, Norm, and that is, do you think this is a possible major cycle high or major cycle bottom in the stock market?
I don't know.
Thank you very much. That's fair enough. That's okay.
I take it
go on to the next step then. Let's go on.
Yes, sir. So we were on the end of talking about oil. We got a window right now for change in trend, and one Thursday afternoon, Thursday night. And so you got two scenarios here. If we make a top today, and then pull back into Thursday, then that would be the bullish scenario. Then you're looking at if it makes a low there and starts going up, then it could be really big on the upside. If we make a top here and pull back and go back up and make another top on Thursday night, then you're looking at a possible double top. That's how I see it right now. Obviously subject to change, right? All right, there we go. Here's how to get a hold of me. I got some classes. I got all kinds of good information here. I'll educate you on this. Reduce. Some people study Gann and take 10 or 20 years to do that. I can reduce it to a few days, a few weeks for you, save you maybe 50 years of torture. And there we go. So here's how to get a hold of me. please call me. I like to talk to people. You don't have to talk to a website. Don't have to talk to a robot or email. You can talk to me. 239-594-3939. I got email and let's get Embark. That's with a Q in the middle there. Embark, MAIL.com. Skype and Winsky _1. I can entertain questions if you like, Larry, or whatever you got.
No, this is good, and we're going to have you on again soon. What would be the next day you would like to come on? Maybe in July sometime.
That would be my guess. Probably somewhere
well, you
around.
Just let me go ahead. You want to give me a date, and I'll just write it in right now.
All right, let's shoot for the 9th. How's that?
You've got it, Bubba. Thank you for being on, folks. We'll be on with you at 12 o'clock or noon, 3 o'clock today. I'll be sitting in for Tom O'Brien. We'll be right back.